What's up, people? My name's Anthony, and welcome to the What's on Your Mind podcast. I'm going to finally throw in some more super positive light just because of the last two episodes. Some serious things I feel had need to be talked about, and those topics aren't going to stop. But I also want to have fun and bring a great light and a good source of energy to my platform as well. And this is going to be the first episode of a couple series I'm going to do on this platform called Anime Exquisite. For context of the title, exquisite means extremely beautiful. And what anime has done for all cultures, especially Asian and Black culture, I feel it is beautiful. It makes me happy just talking about anime and the community that anime can bring. While it isn't perfect at all, can represent something I'm all about. And that's bringing people together and having people come together surrounded by something they love. With this first episode, if you aren't an anime watcher and you're still even clicked on this episode, I really appreciate you. And if you are, I'm going to say this at the end of the episode as well. What's your favorite anime? What brought you into anime? And what anime are you currently watching? With that being said, you see the title of this first episode of Anime Exquisite. The best new gen anime. My personal favorite right now is Jujutsu Kaisen. One of my favorite animes, and one of the only anime I've actually sat and rewatched because the content that's placed in the anime, and I haven't even read the manga, and I'm probably going to pick it up soon, but the story of Yuji Itadori and even Yuta in the prelude of Jujutsu Kaisen 0 is nearly unlike no other. It's a shonen anime, so you have similarities of Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, even Demon Slayer from kind of similar things from Jujutsu Kaisen and Demon Slayer both do. But the combination of story and the importance they put on side characters is what makes these new gen anime stand out more than others. To use Dragon Ball as a perfect example of kind of a poor way of using side characters, there's a common joke that Vegeta gets the short end of the stick in the show compared to Goku. And while I'll argue up and down that Vegeta is one of the best characters in that show from just character development and writing, the way he's handled in that show, it's almost as if he's the butt of the joke. And they literally make him out to be second fiddle in Dragon Ball. The best example is in Resurrection F, where he literally was about to kill Frieza and Goku just swoops in and takes the kill. Or the fact that Gohan in the Buu saga was low-key supposed to be the one who killed Super Buu. I can't find the article now, but there was an article that said that Gohan was supposed to be the one to kill Super Buu. But Goku fans back in the day loved him so much they insisted on him getting the kill. And Toriyama rewrote the story to fit that. If that's true, that is crazy. Like, that is insane how you can't even have control of your product to a degree because you're catering and pandering to certain people. I'm a writer. I really love to write. And some writers have the ending before they even write the beginning, and some figure it out as things go on. At the end of the day, while I'll take it into consideration, I'm not going to let anyone dictate how I want my story to be told. And that's one of the bigger pictures of anime. At the end of the day, some people are going to look at it as a cartoon. It's not going to be for everybody. That's totally okay. The different aspects and things you can learn from watching a show and different things you can relate to stand out. And they can stand out to how you may feel, how you may live your life. Rewatching the show, I wanted to see who truly were some of my favorite characters were. And one of my favorites is actually the protagonist and the main protagonist of the show, Yuji Itadori. And that's rare for me personally, because usually, unless it's a really special anime, the main character isn't really my favorite. Just because it's so centered around that one character, that character's already in your face. So there's no connection being made or that has to be made because it's already there. It's already presented to you as, oh, you should like him because the show's around him. Yuji Itadori stands for is helping others. And throughout the whole first season, he battles with himself because he questions what is a proper death. How should someone be laid to rest? And as the show goes on, he realizes that there's no answer to that. At the end of the day, people are going to hurt. And you can't change that. People are going to go through things that you can't necessarily help. But what you can do is make sure they never feel that energy from you. That's what stands out to me about Yuji. And I'm talking about it like it's a serious matter, but in the show, they kill demons, and there's a part of the show where they fight other students, and another character, one of the main side characters, I think her name is Nobara, or how you pronounce her name, she has to realize that not everyone may have came up from the same upbringing. And she also had someone else realize that in one of the other students from the other schools. And she looked at Yuji and thought, what's so special about him? And she realized that he has a relentless love to help others and to protect others. And usually shonen protagonists have that attribute. And that's what pulls me towards them the most. Because at the end of the day, they'll put themselves aside for the greater good. And with Jujutsu Kaisen specifically, there's a relationship between two sisters, Maki and her sister. And it didn't, at the point it is now, it's pretty rocky. It's pretty shaky because Maki was forced to leave her sister for her personal development. She came from a family that banished her, and she didn't let it hold her down. She moved forward and began to grow. And the only bad part about that is that it was at the sacrifice of the relationship she had with her sister. She had to leave her sister, and her sister was genuinely hurt because she felt she was second to the decision that she made. And it caused a resentment that ultimately led to them fighting. And I'm not going to spoil, just in case if somebody hasn't watched the show, I'm not going to spoil how that battle ends. But there had to be a realization that the love is still there no matter what. And a close second favorite of mine, spoiler alert, Demon Slayer is not the best new gen anime to me. It's not even top 3. Well, it may not even be top 3 because I still have to watch Vinland Saga, and people have called that one of the greatest animes of all time. And I'm thinking that anime been out for years. It only has 2 seasons. So if that anime is really good off 2 seasons, I might have to rechange my whole ranking. But right now, Jujutsu Kaisen is my favorite new gen anime. I know if some of you may have followed me on different social media platforms, I posted a Jujutsu Kaisen bag. It's so adorable. But to give credit to my second favorite new gen anime, Black Clover, I usually have a favorite character of shows, but it takes a lot for me to have a strong connection with certain shows. My number one favorite character from Jujutsu Kaisen, Inumaki, I love that character so much. Just from the swag that he got. He literally don't even speak in words. He just speaks Japanese food ingredients. Like, he's so amazing. It's similar to my love for Levi I have from Attack on Titan, because Levi the short dude, he don't talk too much. You don't know that he can pop off until he pop off. Like, Levi is cold. Like, somebody recommended Attack on Titan to me, and they say, hey, when you watch Levi, just know he that dude. And I'm watching like, I don't know. Aaron's the main character. The character development of Aaron, by the way, insane. I'm going to talk about him. I don't know if I want to say for a different episode. We might throw it in this episode. Forget it. But the character development of Aaron is one of the best written characters I've ever watched so far. But in Black Clover, the connection I made with Asta is very similar to a connection I made with Gohan in Dragon Ball Z. While I don't think it's the greatest of all time, if I honestly answer it, because I've decided to take Dragon Ball out of my rankings just because I have such a personal connection with it. I hate raking it low, but their anime is better than Dragon Ball. But the connection I made with Asta was surprising because I have a friend, shout out Deontay, who always told me like, hey, Black Clover, Goat Clover, watch Black Clover. You know how how One Piece fans be like, watch One Piece? That's how he was with Black Clover. And I was cautious because I didn't want it to come off as overrated, because Demon Slayer at first was overrated to me. The first, like, season 1 to this day, I still feel it's overrated. It's good. It's definitely good. But with the hype that Demon Slayer got, it was very overrated to me. Like, it was getting 10 out of 10 hype, and it gave like 7 to 8 out of 10 to me. But as Demon Slayer went on, it's amazing. I'll talk about Demon Slayer in a minute. But throughout the show, Asta's at a disadvantage, and he's not given the same attributes and characteristics as other people, and he has to overcome that. And there are points in the show where he literally lost the capability to move around properly. I'm trying to speak so I won't spoil the show just in case no one has watched it. And there's a moment where he couldn't move, and he couldn't move certain parts of his body, and he screamed to the sky, I'm still going to do it. I'm still going to be the Wizard King. That's its goal in the show. I'm still going to be the Wizard King. I'm still going to do this. And that stood out to me because it relates on a personal level. If I think of my journey of going to Michigan State, I'm going to be a sophomore this upcoming fall. And the toll it's taken on my mental health has not been good. And that's also going to be a future episode of what they don't tell you about college. But throughout me having my mental problems and my mental state getting worse while in school, I always let myself know I'm going to do this. Even if I'm really depressed during it, I'm going to make sure I push through, because I have people in my corner who believe in me. I believe in myself. And the friends I've made there and the friends I've had before going to college that went to other colleges, they are amazing. Their work ethic is unlike no other. There were moments where I stayed up to do an assignment until 4 or 5 in the morning. I know people who stayed up all night to do an assignment and take a test until 11 in the morning, 12 o'clock. That will always have my respect. I'll always have respect for them. If I can go to sleep and wake up and someone's still there grinding and doing their work, I'm going to ever remember that and say, just when you think you're at your breaking point, remember that it can be done. And that is what that moment with Asta and Black Clover meant to me. And to give Demon Slayer its credit, I got beef with the people who say Demon Slayer carried by his animation, because why y'all low-key, I disagree, but y'all low-key have a point. But I still personally feel if Demon Slayer's animation was, let's say, old style or old school, or it was average. Let's say Demon Slayer's animation was average, not Seven Deadly Sins, because that hurt me. Like, Seven Deadly Sins is my favorite anime. I love Seven Deadly Sins, but the problem I did to myself, I stopped watching Seven Deadly Sins to start Attack on Titan, and the animation difference is like night and day. Like, I physically can't look at Seven Deadly Sins and enjoy it no more because Attack on Titan ruined it for me. I know how Seven Deadly Sins ends, but I can't do it. I can't do it, bro. But let's say the animation of Demon Slayer was average. I still would really like it, because the idea around the shonen protagonist of Tanjiro, they make fun of him because he always cry a lot. But even though he's still killing demons, he still cares for how they got here, how they got to the bad point in life. And he reconciles with them and with the idea of saving them if possible. I have found out spoilers of the manga that I'm not going to share here, but while he hasn't been able to do that, he understands. He pretty much tells the demon sorry and then kills them. He doesn't say sorry, but he understands why they got to that point. And he understands his own feeling of wanting to keep them alive, because his own sister, the whole idea of the show is that he's trying to turn his sister back into a human because she was turned into a demon from a demon attack. And people wanted to kill his sister, and he had to stop them and say, no, I believe I believe in her. I believe she can overcome this, and I believe that I can save her. That feeling of belief is a shared characteristic of Monshon and protagonist, even when it's almost naive. Almost when people doubt them, they look at that character. They look at Tanjiro, for example, for a specific example, and look at, like, wow, he's willing to risk his life for her. And even in the midst of him battling a demon, once he wins that battle, he's not happy. He doesn't cheer most of the time, if you notice in the show. There are moments where he does cheers because they would almost die. But there were moments to where he would be upset that he had to do that. He would be upset that he had to take another demon's life because they were humans at one point. And to segue into the story of Eren Yeager and my personal favorite anime, and at the moment greatest anime of all time, Death Note and Light Yagami, that sense of entitlement and false justice can take you down a wrong path. To correlate it back to certain issues of pro-life versus pro-choice, a common misconception I personally feel people who are pro-life have is that they're saving a life, that they're doing this for the benefit of that child. That's your belief. The story of Eren Yeager ends up revolving around the idea of a certain group of people should live and a certain group of people should not live. That's a mindset Eren Yeager and Light Yagami both had. And the way their characters are wrote, no pun intended for Death Note, are remarkable. But I still kind of disagree with them. I low-key understand Yagami more because at least Yagami is killing criminals. Eren and the actions that took place in his show, that's based off an ideology and based off an idea that is different from the other side. There can be many debates about the actions he took being necessary, but at the end of the day, I don't know if certain words are censored, so mass elimination of an entire race or an entire group of people is not okay. You don't have that jurisdiction to decide that. Even with Yagami killing criminals in his show, he's not their god. He's not the god of the world. He believes it, but he's not the god of that world. He shouldn't have a right of who dies and who shouldn't. And to correlate to the bigger issue, because that's been my main point about why anime means so much to me, there are many different topics and things to think about that are presented in anime culture. And you don't have the right to judge anyone based on their actions, for the most part. Some things are unforgivable, as I mentioned in other episodes, but you are not perfect. I'm not perfect, and we shouldn't strive to be perfect. We should strive to be the best versions of ourselves. That is what some anime is. That's the main goal of the characters. They're working towards becoming better for themselves and the people around them. Because I know a lot of friends, especially black women, who are striving to be doctors. And similar to a teacher, you have to love helping people to do a job like that. Some I've told directly, some I haven't told them yet, but I thank them for the goal, for the path they're walking down, because there are not a lot of black doctors, period, especially not black women doctors. And they're some of the smartest people. To all the black women who I know personally, y'all are remarkable. Y'all are amazing, because you guys, or you women, are working towards making the world better. You are working towards your own goals, making yourself better to help the people around you. You don't have to do that. No one's telling you you have to be a certain way. No one should be telling you you have to be a certain way. You have to have a certain career. You're choosing the betterment of yourself for the betterment of other people. And that's such a genuine and kind heart no one has. And when anime and cartoons may seem unrealistic, the undertones that they may include are natural of this world. I had a fairy tale class, which never knew this was a class, that this is a college course, but it was literally a class surrounded around fairy tales. And the whole point of the class was to show that just because this may be a cartoon, there are other points of this that show different ways of teaching a lesson. Everyone's not going to grasp an idea just by you telling it to them or trying to force them to learn. But when you're able to write a story that correlates to the things of this world, it allows a different avenue to go on and think about things in a different light. At the end of the day, anime is just a show. It's just a drawing, it's just a manga, a book. And everyone's not going to grasp and everyone's not going to gravitate towards enjoying anime. What I'd always tell someone who's trying to get into anime is what do you like and what are your beliefs? Because you may like action, you may like drawing, you may like pretty colors, but what do you stand for? Why do you stand for that? And then realize that that makes you unique as a person. Every anime has different things from each other. Some have similarities. But anime is so unique because it's a form of expression. You can go to conventions, you can go on apps, you can talk to people outside of your circle and see a sense of joy when they talk about anime or when they cosplay an anime character, because it shows that you can be yourself and love yourself. You can be different than others. You can be a nerd, you can be a geek, and you can still be one of a kind. You can still be special. You can still be extraordinary. You don't have to be like everyone else. You don't have to agree with everyone else. You can meet people from different parts of life, parts of the world, and share a common thing that makes you happy. That's what I take away from anime. That's what I take away from people who love anime. Even people who don't like it. Because it shows that we can all coexist without believing the same thing. And we can live together with sharing our own beliefs. We can love one another and we can work towards ourselves without tearing another one down. We can be at the top right with the people we love. And we can show that we appreciate the ones who've helped us build our foundation to what we are now. And that's what you all are doing for me right now. Whether it's listening to this, encouraging me to move forward, showing appreciation to my existence alone. That's what you are doing. And I appreciate you so much. And you are amazing. No matter what, you are unique and one of a kind. Thank you. Goodbye.